Welcome to Archeotech Assimilation, where we discover and investigate the technology of the Imperium and the tools of chaos.
Hello everyone and welcome to Iron and Ceramites Archeotech Assimilation. Thanks for joining us. My name is John and on this episode I am joined by Glenn. How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm good.
So just the two of us today, and we're going to be taking a look at some Hammer and Bolter, and we're going to be doing the first episode that was released prior to Warhammer Plus, and that is Old Bale. So like one of the many new series that's been released, this is the anthology series. I believe this was originally like a fiction magazine made up of short stories that they've converted into animations. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's a good number of years ago since they were really doing Hammer and Bolter. I think they may have brought it back every now and again, but yeah, from its heyday, it's a good number of years ago.
Cool. So like I said, this one came out as a bit of a teaser prior to the release of Warhammer Plus, and this tells us the story of the big battle, or the ongoing rivalry, I should say, between Commisar Yarrick and Ghazghkull Thraka. Hopefully I'm pronouncing these right, because I have a history of getting things wrong straight away.
Good, fair.
So we're going to take a look at this episode. So hopefully you've watched the Angels of Death episode we've already done, and much like that, we're going to break down sort of the story arc, cover the main beats, and then go over things that we liked and disliked, and just talk about the series so far in general. So if you're ready, let's begin. So quickly, what did you think of like the animation style they picked for this?
I quite like the animation style because I like, you know, like a Yu-Gi-Oh or a Pokemon cartoon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's a nice simple level of animation. It's nothing too I don't think they've tried to go too artistic with it. It's just plain simple. Like, I think the stills maybe look a little bit better than in motion, because it is a bit choppy, but you know, overall, just graphically, it looks quite nice.
Yeah, like that bottom slide where they're fighting, in the episode it's a still, and it sort of pans across itself, doesn't it? So yeah, but I quite liked it. I think it works. It's interesting enough, and it's not like too long. It's a short episode, and it's a one-off the way they've done it. I thought it's nice, a bit artistic choice. I think it's good.
Yeah.
So this episode begins with two young orc boys trying to catch and eat a grot, and before they can kill it, they're stopped by an old runt herd called Durznag. Or Durznang. The orcs try and attack him for stopping them from getting their dinner and fail miserably. This absolutely disgusts him, and then he sort of goes on a bit of a tangent and tells them how important it is to be bigger and stronger and fierce, and tells them the tale of the mighty Ghazghkull and why he's so powerful, and it's thanks to his greatest enemy, Commisar Yarrick, or as the orcs call him, Old Bale.
What would you call it?
Well, yeah, if you see the podcast episode, I really messed that up. but we'll leave that one. You can go and hunt that out yourselves. So, like, the orcs have like their own mythology for Old Bale, and he's almost like a demigod warrior in their eyes. And like with orcs, if they think it becomes true, and some of the power, I guess, is just willed into existence, but he's also a bit of a badass as well, as we find out in like the first little story where in his early days Ghazghkull landed and sent a horde against his army, and in one-on-one combat he sent the one of his war bosses in, which managed to take one of his arms, and in return Yarrick took his head and then took the metal claw arm as his own and had it fixed to his body, which is pretty boss move, if you ask me.
It's a little bit oversized, but you know, it works for him.
He pulls it off. And then obviously, like, because the orcs keep spreading the rumor that Yarrick is all powerful and he could, they start another rumor that he could kill an orc with a single look. He gets this eye implant, which is where the name comes from. And this is how he inflicts fear into the ranks of the orcs. So we get a bit of a very quick, because I don't know the lore too well. So, I mean, how many years does their rivalry span? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. From the second Battle of Armageddon until the third, and then the subsequent heading off after him. But yeah, it's a good number of years. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, Yarrick should be a particularly old, decrepit man by this sort of.
Yeah. But he's obviously standing strong. So we get a few looks at some battles, and like if you just look at the animation, like that orc, I don't know, you want to, on its basic level, it's a tank, but it's not a tank. That's just death on wheels, and it's awesome. And you can see like Ghazghkull riding on the top on a throne. So
it's like this that I really enjoyed, because it, especially with orcs.
Yeah.
You know, with models, they kind of gotta go, right, it's got to be feasible to make this. With the cartoon animation, whatever you want to call it, they can really just go to town and make the orcs as big and ridiculous as they should be.
That's it. If you can
Like,
think it, draw it.
Yeah, that battle wagon, like, look at the amount of guns and stuff just hanging off it. It's like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they have one particular battle where the guard get assist from the Blood Angels, and again, that's a cool shot of them coming out the drop pods with that dread in the background, and that's enough to sort of get Ghazghkull to retreat, and they go back up into space and set a trap, and actually manage to catch Yarrick, destroy his ship, and take him prisoner. But he eventually plots a riot with other prisoners, causes absolute carnage on this orc ship, gets up to the bridge and realizes that Ghazghkull isn't there. And then you just see this pretty cool background of him standing there and this space hulk just coming towards it and blowing their own ship up. But obviously, because he's now in orc lore a god, he survives this explosion from a space hulk. And they take him on board, and out of respect, like, Ghazghkull gets his pain boys to fix him up, put his arm back on, give him his eye back and his clothes, and have the decency to pop him in a pod, because good enemies is hard to find and they want to keep the battle going. Yeah, and then after that, there's a little bit more of war on the planet, where the Imperials take it, the Orcs take it back, the Imperials take it, the Orcs take it back. And they have a bit of they go their separate ways for a number of years, while Yarrick gets older and older and Ghazghkull gets bigger and stronger as the Orcs tell it. And then obviously one day they come back and they land, well, they teleport some orcs in, which was quite a cool scene. And then they land these meteors behind that have orc fortresses in, which are supposed to be unbreakable. And obviously Yarrick is able to breach the defenses and clear out the orcs, and send them packing one more time. And we get, like, I really liked the shot that you get after these boulders landed. You got the orc on a jetpack or flying over. I thought that was a pretty cool.
Oh, boys, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So he sends them packing again. And then with that, the runt herd who's telling the story, the orcs, he tells the orcs that if you want to be bigger, you need to find something bigger than a grot to fight and kill. And they sort of laugh at him because of his metal leg and say he probably doesn't even have an enemy. And then obviously, not to be outdone, he tells them that he actually fought Yarrick, and as a result lost his leg, and that's where he got his claw leg from. And not only is Ghazghkull enemies with Yarrick, the runt herd is also enemies with Yarrick, which impresses the orcs. And then with a simple boo, he sends them flying, and they run away. and then the Grot is the last man standing, and says, "Well, where is Yarrick now?" And he says he's out there looking for Ghazghkull. And when they find each other, what a scrap that's going to be, because they love a good enemy. They love having an enemy, especially one as powerful as Yarrick. And obviously, there's more stories for him to tell once it happens. Yeah. So and that's sort of the episode. So it's quite a nice little story. It's simple. It obviously compacts however many books and other bits of lore into 18 minutes. What did you think as a long-time fan?
I like the story. It's nothing I haven't already heard. I'm just, the only downside I have with it is I'm not a fan of the orc voices, and that's just purely a personal choice, because I know that's how they talk. It just irritates me.
Yeah.
But you know, it was well done. I've got no real faults with it. It's just a personal choice on the way the orcs speak. Just annoys me. But like I said, that's just built into the lore as them being green. You know, that's just how they speak.
Yeah.
I thought it was a strange choice, though, that as a teaser, they released the third one in the series. It's, you know, I've not watched the other two just yet.
Yeah.
It was like, I was expecting whenever I opened up, oh, Warhammer app. It's number 3. Okay. Makes no real difference, but you know.
I've seen the other two, and I think if you're trying to catch an audience, you go orcs. The other two, not to spoil it, are very orc light. So why not? Like, people may have heard of Commisar Yarrick. They might have heard of Ghazghkull. They've definitely heard of orcs. Yeah. So it's going to get someone's attention.
I suppose that's so. But then why not just put that one as number 1 in the series?
Yeah, I think maybe they just uploaded it wrong. But it is there. I liked it. I like the animation style, like you. I like a bit of anime style. I know Dave really doesn't like the animation of it. He's not really big into animation anyway, so that's.
Yeah, he's not cool.
Sorry.
He's not cool. So
no, he's not cool. Yeah, so it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I've obviously, you see people sort of are on the fence with things and saying, "Oh, is that if that's what they're offering?" But I enjoyed it. It's a good introduction to a couple of characters. It's piqued my interest. Like, definitely will look up the books, and hopefully we'll get a series dedicated to it further down the line.
That's what they want, is people like yourself who know a little, and wrapped up in it. Whereas, like I said, for me, I know all of that stuff. I want to see the stuff I don't know about, or expanding stuff that I do know about. But for yourself, you're like, oh, that sounds like a good scrap they've had. I want to know more about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, they're doing a job. It's worked for me. But then I'll watch everything that they put out, I think, because I've enjoyed the 3 that I've seen so far. Cool. So unless you've got any other thoughts, mate, we'll wrap it up.
No, cool. I liked it. I would say solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah, cool. I'll take that. I can agree with that. Right, so thank you for watching the video. Let us know what you think of our video and also of that episode in the comments below. If you want to get in touch with us, come find us on Ceramite on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Obviously, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. We do have a podcast, so if you like to listen to a podcast rather than watch anything for too long, then check us out on Spotify, Apple, and any other good podcast services. We're also on Twitch. If you want to help out the channel, then we've got a Patreon. Please come and sub to us, and any money we make will go back into the equipment for the channel. Same, we've got an Element Games link. That'll be in the description below. So if you're going to get your hobby stuff, you can get it at a discount anyway. And if you use our link, it just shows Element Games that we send you, and eventually we'll get a little bit of a kickback for it. Again, any money we make will go into the channel. And finally, Glenn, I think you and Shane, who's winning combat cards at the minute?
I haven't been on in a couple of days, but I know I finished the season on top as usual. And when it reached Monday, so
come and join our clan on combat cards, and let's not let them win 15 on the trot. Him and Shane are fighting it out, but let's get someone else in the top because we can't do it. Cool. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
As always, we would like to thank you for listening to our Iron and Ceramite podcast. If you liked us, then you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any other good podcast services. Just remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.